nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.
Alright, thank you so much, Sammus, for sitting down with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I saw you last night, and you fucking killed it.
Thank you. Also, your eyes are amazing. Like, I really wish that you could help me with my situation. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it totally works.
Thank you. Thank you. Last night, first of all, you are so adorable.
Oh, thank you.
Like, I've never seen somebody who is more grateful for their audience. You know what I mean? Like, it really felt like you appreciated everybody that was there, that showed out, and it was really great. So.
Yeah, no, that was awesome because I think initially, when we were first there, there were a few bros, and it was kind, the environment was like, yeah, after work beers and stuff. So I was like, I don't know if anyone's even gonna look at me or listen to me, or they're gonna be like, get off the stage. So the fact that so many people were like just there with me, I felt really grateful for that.
Yeah. Is this the first time performing at Geek Girl Con?
No, so I performed in 2014 with Shovzilla and with the Double Clicks. Who are based out of Portland. So yeah, it was, and the Thundering Asteroids, who were also based out of Portland at the time. So this was my second time performing with Geek Girl Con. It was a different vibe because the first time it had been like a part of the convention, and so I remember I was real anxious about my language. I was like, oh, there's all these little kids, there's all these little girls. So I was like bleeping myself out. So this was a lot less stressful in that regard because I could just kind of talk my shit the whole time.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
Yeah.
I'm glad. So, do you like the West Coast? Do you like coming to Seattle?
I'm feeling like Seattle is like becoming one of the like, at least for me, it will definitely be a staple when I come to the West Coast to do any touring. It's like Seattle has to be on there just because I really feel like I'm building a great community here, and folks are so receptive. Like, even last night, there were people who like knew the words to some of the songs, and that always trips me out. I'm like, oh my god, this is unbelievable. So Seattle has shown me so much love.
It's such a geeky city.
Yeah,
Have you noticed
it
that?
makes sense. Yeah, there's like these geek hubs in certain parts of the country, and Seattle is definitely one of them.
It's slightly embarrassing. It's a little embarrassing because I'm like, all right, you guys, like, put down your board games and like look at each other in the eyes. That's great. I'm glad that you like it here. Like, I'm glad that people are nice to you. And,
very nice.
Yeah, making eye contact.
I've had some good conversations. Eye contact is on point so far.
Okay, that's good. That's it. Because I'm like, my people, like my nerds, please. Let's do this. Like, we can all have eye contact and like get laid. Like, we can make this happen.
We can make it a thing.
Yeah. Put down the board games. So I want to ask you, like, how did you get your start in music?
Yeah, so there are kind of two threads that I talk about because I'm a producer and then I'm a rapper. And initially, if you had told me, like, when I was a kid I would grow up and start rapping, I would have laughed in your face because I didn't even listen to rap music as a kid. Like, I grew up in upstate New York, which for anyone that knows, it's lots of country music, a lot of like rock. At the time there was a lot of grunge and stuff, so I grew up listening to Nirvana and like Weezer and No Doubt and all of these other bands. And so I also really loved video game music as a kid for whatever reason. I just gravitated towards it. So when my older brother taught me how to like do some stuff on the keyboard and play guitar kind of informally, and so I started making my own songs with the thinking that I could make the music for an eventual like video game or like an animated series at some point. I don't know where I got this idea from, but I just thought, okay, that's
a great idea.
Yeah. So I was making all of this music, and then my older brother showed me how to use a beat making software called Reason on the computer, and that was when things really started to click. Like, oh, I can make music on the computer, and I can export songs and make CDs and mixtapes and listen to them and give them to my friends. So at that time, this was in high school, I was like, you can't tell me nothing. I'm the greatest that ever that ever lived. And I gave them to my friends. They were like, this is weird. Like, what are you doing? Why are you making like weird video game music for a video game that doesn't exist? And so I was like, okay, whatever. And then I first heard Kanye West right when I was about to start undergrad, and that sort of changed my whole perspective. I was like, I love hip hop now. I want to be a part of this. I love that he's talking about being insecure and not wanting to go to school, but also just not kind of. I love that he was able to be insecure and boastful all as part of the same human being. And so I was like, yeah, I love this. I started making hip hop sounding beats at that time. And then in terms of rapping, I came to that after I had already graduated, and I was teaching at the time in Houston, Texas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I asked earlier.
Dope. Yeah.
I was a 3rd and 4th grade math and science teacher, and I was just so sad about the state of the educational system. Like nothing could have prepared me for what I was walking into. And so I started rapping primarily because, my students, they were so brilliant, but they weren't getting the stuff that I was like trying to teach. So it was like, well, maybe if I make rap music about how cool it is to be like a nerd, they'll be like, oh yeah, never mind. I love going home and studying, even though I didn't even really like going home and studying. But I wanted them to feel like that was a cool thing to do. And then the more that I kind of made music about the things that interested me, the more I was like, oh, this feels really good to me, like personally. I want to keep doing this.
That's great. That's great. So when you were in high school in upstate New York, were you like the weird black girl? Because I was a weird black girl.
Yeah, me and my bestie, there were just a few of us, and we did what we could to survive.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure you know the kind of struggle and the identity crises, and you don't know what you're supposed to talk like, what you're supposed to be into. I performed a song yesterday called Mighty Morphing that's about this, with kids telling me, oh, you talk white or you act white, and being like, what does that even mean? I just like what I like.
Right.
Like, why are you telling me these things? And so, it always was a weird identity struggle about, proper socialization for a black girl in a context where you're just trying to like the things that you like and be in peace.
So in your album, there's sort of, in your albums, there's sort of this narrative of like this like space traveling, bounty hunting, like social justice, astral princess.
Oh my God, could you like do all my marketing, please?
Like,
that's amazing.
That's what I imagine, because like when I hear this soundtrack, like I imagine this girl who's just like full on like afro full of stars, who's just like going through the galaxies, like punching white supremacists in the face, like just like all this stuff. Like that's what I imagine. Do you feel like there's a story that you're weaving throughout your albums, or like a narrative?
That's a really great question. I think initially I didn't have sort of a grand vision of a thing that I was trying to present. It was more like, here are the things that I'm thinking about. Here's my lived experience. But the more projects that I put together, and the more that I meet like black women who share kind of these experiences, the more that I feel like I am starting to develop this narrative of like powerful, black, space-bound, thoughtful, social justice oriented woman or person. And I'm feeling like it's going to converge into being something really interesting when I figure out what that looks like. But I do feel like it's starting to map out a story.
Great. Yeah, because like when I hear it, and when you said that you were writing a soundtrack for a video game, like I just finished Luke Cage.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
I haven't even had any time, but
no.
I've made a commitment this next week.
You gotta see it. Like as a black person.
Yeah, my commitment, my responsibility. Yes, I definitely. It's in the queue. It's in the Netflix.
Okay,
queue.
good. Because it like the soundtrack killed it. Like the combination of, because I don't think really a lot of people really thought about that before. Like how much, which is I think ties into how important it is for representation for black people to make black art about black people. That really nobody really thought about how important it was for how important music is to black people.
Creating that experience.
And so do you feel like you would like to do something where it was like a combination of music and visuals?
Oh my God, that would be so ideal to me. And so I grew up in like the era when music videos,
Yes.
you know, had a really, really sort of powerful meaning for like crafting an experience around a song. And so I'm still very much like wedded to the idea that the visual world complements, you know, it can open up a song or can change people's even understanding or thinking about it. So I would love to do that, whether that's contributing to like an already made sort of project or making my own sort of thing.
That would be great. That would be great because I would love to see like a video game starring like a black girl. Like I know that that's like far fetched and that sounds crazy, but like yeah, like I feel like we're at this zeitgeist of where culture is starting to shift, where black people and people of color are starting to make demands on culture. Because I know that you've rapped before about representation and not being able to see somebody who looked like you in the media that you love. But I feel like we can love the media and also demand it to be better.
Of course. And I think that's like the tension that like a lot of content creators reject, that if you don't accept the thing, then that's you not loving it. It's like, no, we love it, so we're asking to do better.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the relationship that I think that exists, that we're pushing because we know how important, how critical this imagery, this stuff is to us.
Yeah. Could you tell me a little bit more about your new album, Pieces in Space?
Yes, I did. So I'm so excited. So that project is dropping on October 28th, and it's been the culmination of sort of a year and a half, almost 2 years of just kind of putting songs together, which is important for me because I'm I tried to be as thoughtful as possible with this project and not just sort of drop an album for the sake of dropping an album. But I really wanted every song on there to speak to a specific experience. So the single that just dropped recently is one called Weirdo, and it's about not just kind of being an introvert, but also being an introvert who wants to like do things for the world, but is stuck between wanting to hide under the covers and like knowing that there are all of these perils that they have to address. And that song just premiered on NPR, which is like the biggest,
congratulations!
Like deal. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
And so this project is going to be on the 28th, and I hope everybody gets it.
No, I'm looking forward to that so much. Like I first heard your music on actually Black Girl Nerds.
Oh yes, my favorite.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh my god, like this is exactly the kind of music that I'm looking for. Like as a black woman, like I love hip hop, but sometimes it can be really disgusting.
The relationship is hard.
Yeah, it can be really misogynistic, and it can be really exclusive for women. So like I'd be like vibing to something, I'm like, oh.
And you hear a lyric, and
you're
like, why did you have to go
there?
Right,
And it ruins it for me.
Yeah.
But like to be able to have this person who was coming from hip hop, who's rapping about stuff that I related to, and to hear it also be really nerdy and inclusive was just like, I was just like, I don't want to say I was in love with you because I don't want to creep you out, but like I love like everything that you are. Like I love everything that you do, and I just appreciate you so much, you know.
Thank you so much.
So I wanted to ask if there's anything that you're like looking forward to in the future.
So let me see. I'm excited to kind of, not just from a personal perspective, but I think I'm excited about what's happening with Black Girl Nerds. I love watching the success and the growth and the like engagement with like Oprah and you know like all of these people who only existed to me on a TV or in like a parallel universe as being accessible. So I'm just excited to see where like we collectively are going to go, because it's like we were talking about Olivia Pope earlier, and I just feel like there's so many dope things that are going to happen for Black women in terms of representation and us telling our stories that like I'm sure it's going to scare a couple folks, and I'm excited about that.
I'm excited. I'm excited to scare people.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, and I hope that you get time to go out and like explore the con, maybe buy some things. You know,
my bank account's gonna be mad at me today.
Mine too. I've already apologized. Sorry, Bank of America.
I apologize profusely. This will happen again. You know it will.
It will. It will happen again. Well, I just wanted to ask, like, where can we find you?
Yeah, so all my stuff is at sammusmusic.com, and that's SAMMUS. I added the extra M so Nintendo doesn't sue me. I know how they like to do. They keep a tight watch on their properties. So sammusmusic.com, and everything is music is up there. Any sort of like press stuff, whatever, contact information, places I'm going to be performing. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope that you have a good time at the con.
You too.
Yeah. Bye.